So the question we have today is, do gases have mass? What we have here is an empty fish tank, and we also have bubbles. Now these bubbles are coming from a normal bubble solution that you might buy for a kid from the toy store. And now the bubbles are floating in the middle of the fish tank. So what do you think might be happening here? Now there is a bowl of water at the bottom of the fish tank, but that's not what's behind the phenomena that we're seeing here. Notice the wave-like motion among the bubbles. Now these bubbles are just being blown by a person. There's nothing special about the bubbles themselves, not unlike bubbles you would blow yourself. They're just filled with air. But again, there's a very characteristic way in which these bubbles are moving. They're not just floating there; they're bobbing back and forth in very wave-like motion. So what might be happening? Again, as you can see, they're not just floating, they're bobbing up and down and back and forth. Very characteristic of a wave. So what's really happening is that inside the fish tank there is a layer of carbon dioxide gas. Now carbon dioxide gas is actually heavier than the surrounding air, and so it's actually just sitting at the bottom of the fish tank, and the bubbles being filled with air are then lighter than the carbon dioxide gas, and so it's sitting on top of that layer, kind of like a cork in water, and that's why it's bouncing around in a wave-like motion. Here's what you didn't see at the beginning, how I prepared the fish tank. That is a chunk of dry ice, which is frozen solid CO2, and it's sublimating, meaning it's going straight from the solid phase into the gas phase. And as you can see, carbon dioxide being heavier than the surrounding air, it's kind of just settling at the bottom of the fish tank, behaving almost like a liquid. Now, carbon dioxide does indeed have mass. I mean, we know it's carbon, we know it's oxygen, and you can check those masses on the periodic table. Gases aren't any different than other matter, so gases do indeed have mass. And here we're just blowing bubbles into the fish tank while it's still sublimating, just so you can see both things in action. So again, do gases have mass? Yes, they do.